What I was trying to allude to, David, is nobody's injured as far as a top rider. They can ride whatever bike they want to ride, but you see that they're talking about it. You know, Bubba's saying, oh, no, I'm at a disadvantage. Oh, man.
I love that.
That was great
that
right
was a
there.
great shot. James going, all right, let me see what Ricky's got going. And Ricky doesn't even look at him.
Oh, that's a Lance Armstrong type move. The Honda starting grid, that looked like Lance Armstrong up the Alpe d'Huez right there.
Now just Ricky's focus, and James is, you know, Ricky knows what that feels like. He was in James' shoes once, and, you know, 2-stroke, 4-stroke, that doesn't matter. It's what Ricky's expecting to do and what James is hoping to do. And this track, of course, you see a 1.5 miles in length that had a major facelift a couple years ago. But, you know, I talked about a little bit earlier how rough it's going to be because they left it rough from yesterday. And here's a look at the start. It's very unique.
First Southwick race back in '76. Pierre Carmichael won that race. Let's find out who can win here in 2005. Ricky Carmichael right next to James Stewart, David Villeman. Stewart with a little spin, but RC with a lot of spin. Ricky having to back it down. Looks like Kevin Windham on the inside, right at number 14. Oh, and riders pile up on the inside, and John Dowd, the number 16 Moose Racing Suzuki. This crowd is going crazy.
Well, a couple of surprises for me is that Carmichael didn't get off to a very good start. Not too big of a surprise to see Stewart struggling, but John Dowd, this crowd came alive when they saw that yellow number 16 up in there, and Kevin Windham, who doesn't really like this place, out front.
The Ludlow, Massachusetts resident, John Dowd, number 16, trying to get by Chad Reed. But what happened on the start?
Well, look how squirrely everyone gets coming from the clay to the asphalt and then back to the sand. Ricky just getting pinched off right there. Kevin coming in from the outside with a little bit better angle, but Dowd, knowing how to ride the sand so well, just knifes it around the inside, makes it a drag race down the next straightaway. Some riders going down in the back. That's going to be no fun coming from clear back there, but none of the heavy hitters in there. Looks like that's that Lansu from Estonia that rode so well at Hangtown.
It looks like, was that Michael Burns saying, get off me, Mike. Kawasaki was down there for the start of the race. There's Ricky Carmichael just behind John Dowd. Carmichael in fourth, Dowd just in front of him.
This is great. You got John Dowd up in there, and I expect he'll stay there. I don't know how Kevin's going to be able to hold off these guys. I know that
maybe it's his
Chad
time.
Reed is an awesome sand rider, and of course Ricky Carmichael, what else can be said about him? Dowd knows what he's doing. Ricky's going to have to work for this, and behind all these guys with qualifications coming out their ears is James Stewart on that 250. I don't know if he's going to be able to get through these guys, but if he does it, it's going to take every ounce of energy he's got.
Chad Reed, an excellent sand rider. Ricky Carmichael, not too bad either. And you know Dowd is. Look at Carmichael. Carmichael goes to the inside, makes that pass for third spot. Where Reed is a sand rider, I would have to say Kevin Windham is the anti-sand rider. I mean, he's fast on those hard-packed, smooth tracks where a throttle control is very prevalent.
I'm not believing how fast these guys are charging right now. It seemed like when they were sitting in the staging area, the temperature went up about 10 degrees. It was so hot. And I was a little bit surprised at the choice of color, actually, that is, for Chad Reed and James Stewart wearing black helmets. I wore a black T-shirt yesterday, Robbie, and man, I wish I hadn't. It was so much worse than the yellow one I have on today. And I'll tell you what, those guys can feel that, you know, and down the stretch, it's going to make a difference. Ricky wearing a lot of white. That's going to be important later.
Black's the new pink.
Whoa, Ricky Carmichael jumping clear into the front of Chad Reed. That was a little bit risky. The lines could have come together, but like I said a moment ago, the intensity that these guys are attacking this racetrack with what lies ahead in terms of the heat and humidity right now and how hot it seems to have gotten when they were sitting in the staging area.
There comes James Stewart just behind John Dowd. My question is why? Why press it that hard that early? I mean, anything can happen, but I mean, it's loose. Why press it that hard if you're Carmichael as we try and see if Bubba, he swaps out. That was an accidental Bubba scrub.
That's just a new thing. I mean, to answer your question, Robbie, because you have to. You know, I mean, Kevin, he's got to push right now or he's going to go from first to fifth in a hurry. Carmichael, why? Because he wants to win another race. Stewart, because he wants to win. He's tired of losing. He's never lost this much, you know, and had this much of a challenge. He's always been able to come back from a loss and win another race. And Chad Reed is sick and tired of losing. He wants to win an outdoor race.
Kevin Windham trying to break Ricky Carmichael's streak. And oh, my goodness, what a pass by Ricky Carmichael. I was going to say Wyndham's best finish this year was a second at Hangtown. He's in second now. Ricky bonsais his way into the lead. AMA Motocross Championships are brought to you by Suzuki, lightweight, superior power, incredible handling. It's why champions choose Suzuki. By Honda, the company that defines performance in motorcycles, ATVs, personal watercraft, and scooters. And by the world's largest off-road specialist, Rocky Mountain MC. Get ready. Southwick, Massachusetts, more AMA Motocross. Your top 5 has Ricky Carmichael leading. Kevin Windham, Chad Reed, John Dowd, the 259 of James Stewart. This is a great race.
I'll tell you what, Robbie, Ricky is riding those every pass he made on these guys looked like it was the last lap effort or something. I mean, he wants this so bad. I guess he's got a lot of confidence in his ability to just keep on riding at that pace, but this battle behind him, look at the people that are involved. I mean, the top 4 riders in the world right now, John Dowd hanging with those guys on his home track. The crowd is getting everything they came for.
And then some. And then some. There goes Chad Reed getting by Kevin Windham. I thought it would happen, didn't know when. Not knocking Kevin by any means, but he is not the sand rider that Chad Reed, he'll tell you. He's not afraid to say, I'm not the best sand guy out there.
You got to remember, too, I mean, Chad, of course, you know, I've said it a bunch of times, but here we are on OLN. In case we got some new viewers, Chad Reed won a GP in Europe, and it was a sand track. He lived in Holland in the sand. There goes James Stewart past Kevin Windham, it looks like, or making a bid for it anyways. And then he won Daytona this year over Ricky Carmichael, who just owns Daytona. So Chad's going, you know what, maybe I can do the same kind of an upset here at Southwick, and he's in position to do it. Stewart trying to hang with that, and on a 250, man, my hat's off to the kid for riding that thing that fast, because those 450s pull so much better in the sand. Yeah, you can throw a 250 around a little bit better, but it just doesn't have the torque.
Yeah, you're one throttle. As much as you could possibly get powering your way through that sand. I mean, sand just robs you of horsepower. I mean, I feel sorry for anybody that ever had to ride a 125 at this course. I mean, because your clutch bound to be gone, but it does. It robs a lot of power. I mean, very seldom you see the nice little thin layer of dirt up there. Look at those berms. They tell all.
And Carmichael just out front, just like always, stretching out his lead a little bit over Chad Reed. Chad's still in. Look how much faster James Stewart comes into the picture, and he's on a 250. He doesn't let off through there. In the lap before, he laid it over so far, it blew his right foot off the peg, and that happened to him at Mount Morris, and it hurt him for a little while, but didn't seem to affect him here. He is staying in contact with these guys and still in position to be able to pull off a win here.
Yeah, that was nuts how fast he came into the picture and just railed those turns, and he looks fast, but he's off of the pace of Ricky Carmichael, who goes down all by himself. Carmichael down, picks it up, still in the lead, and now goes by, or Reed goes by, then James Stewart, now Kevin Windham.
He stalled it. He stalled it, Robbie.
Oh, his mechanic said, come on, fire it up, baby. And he does so, but a lot of time goes by. What happened, David?
He overjumped that, I think, and he landed in the braking bump, and he had no chance. He just got to run up that hill, and he flew a lot farther than he normally had been. Once he stalled, man, he's going to prove his fitness now, because it takes a lot out of you to fall down. The heat catches up with you, the sand, the sweat explodes in your goggles. And then he had to kick that thing. It took him about 10 kicks to get it going again, and he's about 30 seconds down on these guys now.
James Stewart moves up to second, Windham back in third. Aaron Bates right now with Ricky's mechanic, Mike Gossler.
Mike, Ricky just went down in the third lap there. What do you think he's going to do? Is he going to give it everything he has and get as many points out of this, or is he going to put it all on the line?
No, I think he'll just try to be calm and try to get as many points as he can today, you know. I think we're okay. We're not too bad a shape.
You know what? The time behind these guys that Ricky is, and the time he's down on Chad Reed, the leader, is how far he usually wins by. So this isn't over yet.
Well, I think Ricky has the speed, but how much did that crash take out of him? And look at this. Kevin Windham has closed in on James Stewart. I believe Aaron has more on that.
J-Bone, it looks as though Bubba's having some problems out there. Can you detect what's happening?
Yeah, I couldn't really tell. He came by, he was kind of messing with his face a little bit. I don't know if his goggles or helmet or head, or I don't know what it was, so we'll have to wait and find out. I'm not really sure.
Well, James reaches up all the time anyway, but he does appear to have slowed a little bit, and a guy in Kevin Windham that doesn't really like this track or thrive in the sand is beating a kid that loves the sand and grew up in it. So this is a story. He is slowed way down right now, and this is starting to look like Hangtown, the second moto.
Yeah, it looked like he waved his hand when he came by us that last time. Something's definitely wrong, but he was in second place. I mean, maybe it's mechanical. I mean, there may be something going wrong with the bike right there. James Stewart in third, but he's riding like a 250 novice, not 250 professional right now, and that doesn't look good. Chad Reed's trying to check out of this 250cc Moto 1. But Aaron, what do you have for us on Bubba?
Well, James Stewart has just pulled off the track. We're taking a look. Jeremy Albrecht, his mechanic, is taking a look to see what's happening, but they can't quite figure it out. It looks as though he's going to be headed back to the pits, and they'll be able to find out when they get back to the rig. Tough luck for James Stewart, Moto 1.
You see Scott Taylor right there, I talked about earlier, for Ricky Carmichael, looking on at that in sort of disbelief, like, I wonder what's going on there. And Carmichael starting to slice his way back up, gets around John Dowd, moves himself into third. He's got Windham to catch, and then Chad Reed, he hasn't been able to slice into that lead very much, so Reed has been able to hold off the charge of Ricky Carmichael. Carmichael pushing so hard to try to keep his streak alive, and Reed's not letting him gain anything. So this looks like Carmichael, this streak may be coming to an end. He can put himself in position to win the overall, Robbie, by getting around Windham. But I don't know if he's going to be able to catch Chad. 31 consecutive Moto wins at stake right now. Can it be 32? He's got a lot of work ahead of him. Scott USA, as always, our OLN telecast presented by Parts Unlimited. Chad Reed is trying to win this Moto number 1 of the 250 race here at Southwick. And his mechanic looks on Darren Sorensen going, yeah, baby, this looks good. Yep, naming his mechanic Rookie. Chad Reed not looking at all like a rookie out there on the racetrack. He's starting to flow. He's starting to use some of the braking bumps like Supercross stuff, and it's really flowing. It looked like when Ricky got up, he was trying so hard to catch back up to the leaders. As you can see, he's caught up quite a bit to Kevin Windham now, but he looked a little bit impatient. It took him a while to get his groove back. Plus, it had to take a lot out of him. Second place looks like he's going to be able to catch and take control of it with the pace that he's got compared to Kevin, but I don't think he's going to get this Moto win, Robbie. Time is of the essence. Carmichael currently in third behind Reed and Windham. Let's go down to Aaron.
Well, guys, we're taking a look at Ricky Carmichael's mechanic, Mike Gosler. He's writing down Ricky's lap time and Chad Reed's lap time. Ricky still has Kevin Windham in front of him, but that's no concern. They're only worried about the leader, Chad Reed.
Yeah, I think second is easily attainable with, Windham just in front of him, but plus 24, you don't want to see that anytime during the race. Here he goes. He's got a line over here on the right. He's been making up a lot of time right there, so he gets the pass done. And I don't think he's trying to do is ride hard enough to make sure that Chad can't just relax out front. Ricky's like, hey, man, if I'm going to be tired, I'm going to make sure Chad's tired so that second moto is fair and square. Blue flag shown to some of the guys out there signifying watch out, that one of the leaders are coming through, having to do a couple of tear-offs. You notice the Kawasaki up at the top of the screen. Michael Byrne getting lapped. Burner went down early in that first lap, and he says, I'm done for the day. It's not worth it. Well, you still got to fight, though. I mean, if Carmichael went down in the first turn, he'd be going faster than he is right now. You got to fight. I don't think Carmichael is believing that he made that mistake and cost himself his streak. Kevin Windham going, I like this line over here, but not as fast as over on the right. Carmichael proving right there that that right side is a little bit faster. You see all the swapping they're getting. You can never relax out there on that racetrack. There's David Villeman on the factory Yamaha in fifth spot. Good ride by him, charging through the field. Let's go back down to Aaron Bates. What do you have for us, Aaron?
Well, it's a tough moto for Kawasaki team. Michael Byrne, number 26, is pulled off here. It looks as though there's some mechanical problems going on. His mechanic's taking a look right now, but it's not looking very positive for Moto 1.
Well, okay. So I was talking about you got to fight, but not if your bike won't let you. So I don't want to throw Michael Byrne under the bus. Now that I know it's a mechanical thing, then I'll go ahead and give him the benefit of the doubt on getting lapped there. But and can't guess too much. For the right side, there's only so many things there. I'm thinking maybe back brake, clutches over there, but there's really not much you can do unless the brake was stuck. White flag out now for Chad Reed. He's got this thing in the bag, it looks like. Lapping Jeff Alessi, Mike's brother, who is running really strong for most of the moto with a decent start, just outside the top 10 now. So that gives you an idea how fast these guys are going, lapping inside, possibly inside the top 10 before the end of this lap. You see how hard Chad Reed is charging right now, even on that last lap. Carmichael's doing the same, because just like we saw in practice, Ricky fell down in practice. Doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. I think if it's going to happen anywhere, it's going to happen on a really, really loose course like this, where you could just get a little push out. Yeah, like I said, you can never rest. And earlier I was talking about Ricky pushing hard enough to make Chad push, and Chad somewhere in there, I don't know if he fell or stalled it or whatever, but he lost about 8 or 10 seconds to Carmichael. And, I thought if that keeps happening, Carmichael could win it, but Chad picked it back up, and looks like he's going to be the streak stopper.
Look at how deep those braking bumps are. Working his way past his teammate. Unfortunate for another guy who's fast in the sand. Tim Ferry, factory Yamaha, is lapped, and there's Ricky Carmichael. The streak looks like it is about to end at 31 consecutive moto victories as Chad Reed makes the final few turns of this Southwick Moto 338 course, and I think he has things in the bag right there. This Thor Parts Unlimited Yamaha is one happy man smiling underneath that helmet.
See Carmichael going over the double jump, approaching the sweeper where Chad just was. Gives you an idea how close he got. Not enough. I was...
Oh, Chad knew how close he was.
Yeah, I was wondering about this black. Look at the black gear, the black helmet. I mean, it looks cool. I'll give Thor that, but dang, that's hot. He's taking his chances wearing that stuff, but you know what? He proved me wrong. He's winning this moto. Could be another Daytona. He could pull the upset today.
Black in Moto 1. We'll see if he AC/DCs as it comes back in black for Moto 2. Look at this race. Doug Henry on the two-stroke 250 charges by Ernesto Fonseca at the last second. Torrance, Connecticut, another hometown favorite. He's in 6th now. Carmichael, who we're seeing number 4, in 2nd.
Two local boys. Henry, just after coming off a supermoto, decided, I think I'll ride Southwick. That's kind of a fun track. The fans, I like the fans there. I'll just go ahead and throw myself on a 250 after riding a 450 all in the supermoto stuff. And comes off with a 6, and
his buddy John Dowd in 3rd.
Yeah, in 3rd. What a day for those guys. Nothing quite as sweet as this, though.
An amazing race for Chad Reed. He takes a victory, his first ever in the 250 class in AMA motocross racing. In the books at Southwick, Massachusetts, Chad Reed on top of the victory podium.
Good job, dude. You deserve it more than anybody. Good job.
Ricky Carmichael, some accolades from him. Let's go down to Aaron Bates, who's with our winner.
Congratulations, your first 250 national moto win. How does it feel to be the man to beat Ricky Carmichael's 31 consecutive moto streak?
Man, it feels so awesome. I mean, 3 years I've been going at it, and the guy's phenomenal. You can't take anything away from him. He crashed, and I think in the past I always give him another opportunity to come back and beat me. But today I just wanted to stay strong and try as hard as I could. With a lot of sand in my mouth, and so hard to keep a rhythm with nobody around me, and it's hot, humid.
Let's take a look at our Suzuki results. Reed, Carmichael, Dowdy on another Suzuki. Windham, Billman top 5. I'm surprised by Nick Way, his first moto back, 8th place. Good job, Nicky. Let's go down to Ricky Carmichael, an unfamiliar 2nd place.
I'm going to make this really simple. You went down around the 3rd lap. Did the braking bump seem to bite you?
Yeah, you know what? It's no big deal. Hey, all good things must come to an end, and that was fun. It brought out the champion in me, and even though I didn't win, hey, that's the way it goes. I'm still feeling good, and I still know I'm one of the best guys, and that's the main thing that's important to me.
Hey, do you feel like the pressure is off your back now that the winning streak has finally come to an end?
Nah, I'm just looking for the championship. I want to put points and points together.
Like I said, no excuses from Ricky Carmichael. John Dowd, he's 39 years old. This is his home track, but you got to be kidding me. What a race. He's down with Aaron now.
Hey, you've got a lot of fans here cheering you on. Did that just get your adrenaline pumped right up? Is that what brought you up to the podium?
Yeah, I'm sure of it. I mean, it's hot out here today. I mean, I was dying towards the end of that race, and people were cheering all the way around. It definitely keeps you going.
Great job.
Thanks.